This is a shocking story based in Gurgaon at a BPO called Saffron, which was built on top of a graveyard, and many employees claim to have experienced paranormal activities. Though some details might be fuzzy, as the management of the BPO tried to bury the story. Such a tale of horror always gets heard through the grapevine. Saffron has a business process that had a girl named Rose, who was the brightest star on the production floor. She was a punctual employee who never took any unplanned leaves. Both the upper management and her colleagues were in awe of Rose's way of functioning and looked up to her as a role model. She was a socially friendly woman who made friends with everyone in her process. She was such a great employee that she won 3 Employee of the Month awards in a row during her tenure at the BPO Saffron office. But an unusual thing happened one day. Towards the end of her shift, she received an inbound call and took it knowing that her colleagues were about to leave for their homes. Most inbound calls usually are around 5 minutes long, but this call went on for around 45 minutes. Her superiors were surprised at the lengthy nature of this call and eventually decided to barge into her call to make sure she didn't need any support helping the client. But what they heard left them shocked. They were surprised to find that there was no one speaking on the other end of the line. Rose was weirdly in a deep conversation with someone who wasn't responding at all. When the call got over, she seemed different from her usual friendly self. No one said anything to her. After all, she was the best employee of the process. The next day, she didn't turn up for work without informing anyone. This absence wasn't taken seriously, as this was the first time that she took an unplanned leave. But things became serious when she didn't turn up for work again the next day. The trend continued for the next couple of days when the HR department decided to contact her to find out if everything was all right. But when they traced her accommodation as per the address she had provided in the company records, they found out that no such girl lived at that address. So the management, spooked by this development, tried to do a background check on Rose and attempted to establish contact with her family. When they finally met up with Rose's parents, they were shocked to learn that Rose passed away about 8 years back. The management returned baffled by this revelation. Rose remained a mystery. Her friends were mentally disturbed by this, and her best friend at work suffered a cardiac arrest on learning that Rose was something paranormal. The mystery still remains, and the story was duly buried as such. Story would bring bad name to the company. The truth is sometimes indeed scarier than fiction. Still no message on my phone. I guess he wasn't going to call me back after all. I can't really blame him. Maybe I came on a bit too fast yesterday. I had noticed him long before he noticed me, his shiny black hair and unnatural blue eyes. I wasn't the only one watching him, that's for sure. His movements were elegant in a boyish way, and his smile. I would die for that smile. Still no messages. I thought about calling him, maybe apologize for going too fast yesterday. I'm a coward, I know, but I just couldn't bring myself to dial his number. Besides, he promised he'd contact me when he's ready. So I'll wait. I'm patient. I know I'll just casually stroll past his house just to see if he's home. Maybe he's out. That would explain why he couldn't call me yet. He only lives a half hour away anyway. Maybe he's shy and is still scared to call me. Silly boy. I'll go to him and tell him that he doesn't have to be scared, that I don't mind if he needs time. He lives pretty secluded in a farm on the outskirts of town. I can hear the sheep in the stables as I approach. My heart skips when I see there's a light burning inside. He must be there. He told me yesterday his parents would be gone for the weekend. They left him to look after the sheep for those days. Poor baby, that must be hard work. He was probably just too busy to call me. I'll have to stay here until his parents come back and help him take care of all those sheep. I knock on the door, but he doesn't answer. Maybe he fell asleep. The thought of his beautiful face, even more softened by sleep, makes me smile. I try the door. It's unlocked. There's hardly any crime around here, so I guess locking the door isn't needed. I try to be quiet as possible as I sneak through the house. I want to surprise him. I cringe at every creak the stairs make as I climb them. Finally, I've reached the bedroom, and I carefully open the door. There he is, laying in bed as I thought. Quietly, I switch on the nightlight on his desk so I can see his face. His blue eyes are still open, staring into space, and his whole face is one bloody mess. His cheeks have been carved, the skin mostly removed and hanging loose on the sides of his face. He's missing his fingernails. They are laid out on the bed, carefully arranged. On his bare chest, words are carved. I look at him, my hands covering my mouth. He's still the same way as I left him yesterday. He must have been so tired that he slept all day. How cute. I softly kiss his forehead, making sure I don't wake him. Then I write another message below the ones on his chest, letting him know I'm here when he needs me. I leave the room, heading back outside. I think it's time for the sheep to go to sleep. And tomorrow I'll introduce myself to his parents. I'm sure they'll love me too. If you like what you heard, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you'd like to, you can follow me at Twitter. The handle is @FuzzyPantaloons. And I'll see you all next time.